What's going on, everybody? Welcome back if you're here before. We're going to play some, so I'm getting ready to play the final event, the championships for the Pandemonium Premodern bi-weeklies, and I am tied with with another person, his name's Ryan Gates, for leaderboard points to get the round 1 bye and the plaque for first place for both 55 points. So I'm trying to pick a deck that I think I can maybe win the championships tournament with. And this is a deck that we visited before, but I don't think I've played on MTGO. So what are we looking at? Counter Burn. I'm not going to spend too much time on the deck, like explaining it, because the deck does exactly what I just said it does. It counterspells and burns your opponent. Namely, we're playing Urza's Rage, a card that is a really bad lightning bolt that can't be countered. And for 12 mana, it can deal 10 damage. It doesn't come up often, but this deck tries to go long enough that it does come up. We're playing a ton of man lands, so we can cross the finish line. Couple Grim Lavamancers, and then Bolts, Fire, Ice, AK for card advantage, Mana Leak, Prohibit, Counterspell, some weird ones. We've got Exclude, which is counter target creature spell and draw a card, aka Cryptic Command, and Repulse, return a creature to its owner's hand, draw a card, aka Cryptic Command. Then we've got Factor Fiction, Prophetic Bolt, which is 5 mana, Impulse, 4 to any target. It is part of how we're trying to win the game. I know this seems unhinged. We're going to see how bad it is when we play some games today. We're also playing one Morphling as a way to just kind of end the game in weird locked up board states. Also, I'm just a sucker for Morphling. Sideboard's full of sideboard cards. We've got Powder Keg, Phyrexian Furnace, Pyroclasm, Annuls. We're in blue-red, meaning our sideboard is very powerful. So we're just utilizing that and playing both of the blasts. Annul. Slice and Dice is an interesting one as well. It's really good against Enchantress because it can actually kill our Grothian Enchantress. That's what we're doing. Let's hop in and play some games. All right, we found an opponent and we're on the draw, which is serviceable. That's okay. We're not trying to do anything quickly. This hand has a castable Mana Leak, Fire Ice, Factor Fiction, 2 lands. It's not ideal, but we've got some interaction. Opponent says, hi, have a good one. I say, you too, exclamation point. And they're going to become a 7. I'm going to try this. If I was on the play, I might mulligan it for mana reasons, but I think we'll be okay, depending on what our opponent's on. They go, Plains, please don't lead on Mother, please don't lead on Mother, please don't lead on Mother. Oh, they're playing against Rebels. Okay, well, is it a 1-1? It's a 1-1, so Fire could be quite good. We untap, draw. It's a counterspell. We'll actually lead on Shivan Reef. That way, if we start drawing blue sources, we can start casting our counterspells. That'd be pretty good. Mishra's Factory, sure. Cast Weather Wayfarer. Okay, now Fire is going to be absolutely insane and unfair. Attack for 1, sure. I'm probably just going to like main phase the Fire, so that way they can't ever activate this. All right, we didn't draw the land, but that's okay because we're going to go red, colorless, cast, Fire, 1/1. Done. 2 for 1. All right, you go. Now we just hope to A, draw lands, and B, they don't resolve like a bomb here. But there aren't a lot of those. They're just attacking with Factory, which makes me really happy. That's nice and slow, just the way our deck wants to play. All right, they didn't do anything. Draw land deck. Do it. AK. I could main phase AK, but I've got Mana Leak, and they're missing land drops too. So I will hang out in the mud with them and just do nothing for infinite time. That's totally fine. All right, they found their land drop first, but I, at the very least, get to cast AK at the expense of a life. My blue mana is painful right now. All right, no land drop. Untap, draw. No land drop. Deck. Unlikely, but that's okay. We're just going to go to discard. We're going to continue to hold that mana Leak. We've got Lightning Bolt for Mishra's Factory. So we're going to go to end step, and what do we pitch? Probably just one of the 3 counter spells that we can't cast right now. You go. Weather Wayfarer? Yeah, that's not going to be very good into my board of nothing. Do I just kill that thing here? Unlikely, right? No, I can just let that exist for a little bit. We draw another non-land. I can see how today's going to go. Pitch Counterspell. Boo. All right, they're going to attack with the Wayfarer. Now I think I'm just going to convert this Fire, one the Wayfarer, 1 them, simply so I don't have to discard next turn. So we'll go Fire, 1/1, done, red, colorless. My turn, on tap, draw. Glad we did that. We would have had to discard if we didn't. I wonder what our percentage chance to draw land is right now. We've seen 2 in the top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Top third of our deck, we've seen 2 lands. Unlikely. On tap, draw. Hey, cooking. We've got, not only did we draw a land, we drew a win condition in Faerie Conclave. They draw Flooded Strand. Are you going to try to resolve something? Opponent, you have no clue how bad I want you to try to resolve something. They're going to try to resolve Standstill. Are they playing Counter Rebel? They must be, right? Blue, red, Mana Leak, Standstill. Pass to me. All right, deck 1 land, please. No land. But we got this Factor Fiction, so when we find our next land, it's really good. Also, this is something we need to always talk about when we're playing this deck. It looks like we had a handful of answers. Every burn spell on this deck goes face. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12 points of damage in our hand, which is really good. We're going to prohibit this Standstill. I'm not interested in that thing resolving ever. End step, draw, another counterspell. Cool. A thing I'm worried about if they're playing Standstill and Rebels is they're probably also have access to Armageddon. So I need to make sure that Counterspell is like forever just being held up. End step, I don't want to go to discard, so we're going to start bolting their face. We're going to start engaging with our win condition. Untap draw, mountain, Factor Fiction's online. Okay, now we feel really, really, really good. Your Factor Fiction? Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. I tell you what, you can have Armageddon and 4 and tap it, huh? What can you have? I kind of want them to take the Armageddon pile, so they have to sit there and try to cast it. But I don't want to give them Armageddon plus Standstill. So I'll give them Armageddon plus Disenchant plus this guy. Or is it like this? Is that slightly better? No, I think it's like this. I really want to incentivize them to take the Geddon pile. Okay. All right, they took the Standstill pile anyway. Well, I guess them taking the 2 means my pile was solid. They took Standstill plus Dude. Dudes don't live in this matchup, which is really cool. This is a cool deck I've been meaning to try, Counter Rebels. It's like a nod back to the old Rebels decks of Standard. Blue, Standstill before your threat when we both have manlands seems insane to me. Do I care? I guess a little bit, right? Blue. No, am I activating Faerie Conclave? Oh, I used the wrong ability. I clicked, chat, I misclicked, it's so bad. If they swords this, opponent, you know I didn't mean to do that, and we're playing in pre-modern practice. They just exploited the hell out of our misplay. Yeah, you've got to stand still, dude. Well, if they attack with Factory, this is great, because now they only draw 1 off standstill. Draw your cards. All right, what do we need to do now? We need to draw land. I can't believe I did that in front of everybody. That was embarrassing. Faerie Conclave tapped. All right, draw land. Make it never matter. All right, cool. Well, now we have to go down cards, so we're going to AK. Draw 2, blue source. All right, cooking a little bit. If they Armageddon, we're just like, well, they can't Armageddon. They don't have a threat in play. That was gross. That's upsetting to me. So if anyone was wondering what was supposed to happen there, I was just trying to counterspell. I was trying to add blue with the Faerie Conclave and then counterspell the standstill. But our opponent's not doing anything, so this is probably actually fine. Let's bolt our opponent. I want to make space in our hand for these cards. We're going to try to pick up off Factor Fiction. Mishra's Factory, you may go. Latnam's Legacy, that's a weird card to play in that deck, I think. Although I guess if you've got your Rebels and you've got like your big over-the-top Rebel that you're trying to get off your Rebels chaining upwards, then if you ever draw that big thing, Latnam's Legacy does make it easier to like get rid of. That's actually kind of cool. I've never seen that in this deck before, but that does make sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. You would like to Armageddon every land? Do I counterspell this or do I Factor Fiction? I guess I'm gonna counterspell. Mishra's Factory, sure, pass to me. That's a really weird play. Armageddoning with like no threats in play. I don't know about that one. Do I main phase AK here just to like find land drops, or do I just hold up Factor Fiction and counterspell? I think I'm gonna hold up Factor Fiction counterspell here. Wasteland, sure. Mishra's Factory, hit it with the Wasteland, tap for blue, you got it. Or tap for colorless. I wish Mishra's Factory made blue. All right, yep, I will not spend the mana, that's fine. Sky Marshal, it's a 3/3 that, yeah, I don't care about that. That resolves. Go to end step. I will simply try a Factor Fiction. Sure, I cannot pay for the mana leak. MTGO. There's a Morphling. I think we need to, I could just Urza's Rage. I think we need to get some cards here. So we are going to Accumulated Knowledge. We find the Factory, and then you can search for a Rebel with permanent value 6. So I think we unfortunately need to go shields down here and just kill the Sky Marshal. We can't hold up Counterspell anyway. Yep, let's do that. Urza's Rage, cast, no Sky Marshal for you, go. Land to Lin Civi, the best Rebel. This one goes to get any Rebel, mana value X. Get busy with Mishra's, sure. Busy with Faerie Conclave, we're going crazy. All right, that's gonna be 4 damage. We can deal with the Lin Civi. All right, take a draw step. There's a Ghitu Encampment, little manland action. You are a 1/3. I wonder if I just hold up Repulse plus Prohibit. Yeah, it kind of seems that way. Man, that activation, I should have a Faerie Conclave and my opponent should have 3 less cards, but I'm clicking the dumb buttons like an idiot. Yeah, you've activated Faerie Conclave. Go to combat, get busy for 2. I think I'm gonna ignore the 2. Go to end step. Let's go ahead and try another Facrific. See if they got another mana leak. Nearly lethal damage. I'm just gonna take whatever pile has 2 burn spells. All right, choose pile 1, any order. My turn. Draw an island, play an island. Let's pass the turn. They're probably priced into activating Lin Civi here. And then we need to hold our priority and think about what to do after we see what they get with the Lin Civi. Tapping out, sure. Lin Civi does Lin Civi things. All right, we've got a 4/7 with Vigilance. So here's what we'll do. While we have our little priority, we're gonna activate here and we're gonna repulse this giant creature. They can recast it next turn if they want, that's fine. We need a blue for that, huh? Blue, this. Repulse here. Then we will simply kill the Lin Civi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're not quite close enough to hope to kick this Urza's Rage. They play land. We know they have the big vigilant creature in hand, which costs 6, I believe. So that would bring them down to 4 mana, which is enough to hit us with some stuff. We can try to play Morphling, and that's a pretty good defensive play. Yep, there's their giant vigilant creature. I've got a red up. I wonder if they expose the manland. They're exposing the manland. It seems a little dangerous. They do know of 3 lightning bolts in our graveyard though, so it's probably correct. Yep, I'll take 2. Youch, I'm at 5. 1, 2, Waterfront Bouncer. Gross. That one's nasty. On tap, draw. It's a mana leak. We'll play this island. Now let's see. Morphling will bring us down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 blue sources, but I can give Shroud and pump the toughness of Morphling plenty. So we might be able to leverage a stabilize through this Morphling if our opponent doesn't play literally perfectly. Let's see if we can try that. Like that, and then here, and then here, Morphling. And then you may go. It's gonna be pretty hard though, because like I can't take damage from that, what is the name of this hilarious cat rebel? I'm not, Jovial Queen. Going to 1 sounds like a nightmare. But how close am I to actually killing our opponent? This Morphling can get in for 5. Looks like they're going to discard a card and try to bounce the Morphling. I am going to give it Shroud. No, I don't want that. Factory is active. They need to activate the Conclave as well to force me to block the Queen. Yeah, there's the Factory. They go to combat. They can't pump the Factory, which is a big, big deal. So what we'll do is we'll go to blocks. We'll block here. And then before damage, we're going to go -1/+1. And then we'll do it again. Now I've got a 1/5. So they bounce off each other. I go to 1. I can bring them to 7, 4, 1, 2, 3, Lin Civi. How do we win here? This game's so close. It shouldn't be, but it is. Our goofy ass is over here misclicking. Okay, we've got access to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana if I play this Shivan Reef. The Morphling can be given flying and become a 5/1. So let's play the on-tap land. For me to do, because if I pass the turn, I'm just stone cold dead. So if I give this flying, that'll cost a blue. Then I can use like Factory this to give it be a 5/1 and then attack for 5 there at 7. Then Urza's Rage brings them to 4. No, yeah, no matter how I math this out, there's absolutely no way to kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 more lands is what I would need to rage them to. Very sad. We will concede. We were supposed to win that game, but I lost my Faerie Conclave for no reason. And my opponent knows what they did, because when I told them misclick, they just like, they didn't have anything to say. We're gonna go Pyroclasm's probably not as good as I want it to be, because the rebels all have like weirdly high toughnesses. I think Powder Keg's pretty good. Slice and Dice is probably pretty good. Furnace is probably pretty bad. Teferi's Response, I don't think so. It might just be these 2. The matchup should, in a vacuum, be pretty okay for me. What don't we like here? I love all the burn spells. In fact, I think I'm going to have to take a really light-handed approach because I actually like all my spells versus this matchup. We're going to cut Ann Prohibit or Mana Leak. I think Ann Mana Leak and Ann. I don't want to cut too many counter spells because I am concerned with their Armageddons. And an Exclude for Slice and Dice and Powder Keg. Submit. All right, we win the die roll because we got trashed game 1. No colored sources. Mulligan. This deck does have a bad mana base, so we can't get too aggravated about that. I think we need to keep this and just plan to draw a red source, unfortunately. We'll pitch the Prophetic Bolt, keep this. We'll play Faerie Conclave, and if they don't have a 1-drop, our counterspell should be pretty good. We'll use the ice as a tempo play if we need to. Flooded Strand, don't Weathered Wayfarer me. That would be very upsetting. Plains, nothing. Stone Cold, nothing. They're probably afraid of Stifle. I wonder if Standstill legal while Rebels were in Extended. I think that would be a pretty good deck. I actually don't know. I wasn't playing back then, so. We could play a red source here. Holding up Counterspell, how good is it? Standstill. It's good against Standstill. We'll play an island and just pass. Blue. Are we standstilling opponent? Standstilling while I'm the one with the manland's a little weird, but they might have more. No, they probably have 4 factories plus 2 Faerie Conclaves. So yeah, we're going to for sure counterspell this Standstill. No, thank you. All right, pass to me. My turn. Draw. A Fire Ice is fine here. We'll pass the turn. We're going to need to like, let me see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage in our hand. We'll probably need to start using these ices. We need to bridge the gap between where we're at now and Prophetic Bolt. Mishra's Factory is fine. Ramosian Sergeant, you've got a 1/1. Standstill, that less so. I think we're going to tap for a red, tap for a blue, fire 1/1. Done. You have a Standstill. Pass to me. On tap draw. No land, but here's what we're going to do. Now we're actually going to activate Faerie Conclave. We've got them behind on the clock, so we're going to play draw go with them for as long as they let us. and then just try to like, when it comes down to them like turning the corner, we're going to try to have enough burn magic in our hand that we can just turn the corner all at once. Yep, they just have Mishra's Factory. So right now we're winning the race. Yep, Factory gets in. Ouch. Pass to me. Cool. On tap draw. All right, activate Faerie Conclave. Go to combat, attack for 2. Every turn that I get to do this and bring their life total down further is like just super good for me. All right, you go. I think after we achieve our second red source, we might be comfortable not playing lands just to play around Armageddon as well. Now they have a second Mishra's Factory, so we're gonna have to turn the corner a little bit differently now. All right, you've pumped your factory, that's fine. Attack for 3, you got it. Ouch. End step, me draw. It's a red source, amazing. So we have our second red source now, which is perfect. We'll go colorless, blue, activate the Faerie Conclave. We're doing a really weird race here. Go to combat, attack for 2, bring you to 12, and then pass the turn. Now here it's so how many points of burn damage we actually have in our hand? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need to connect 2 more times here, but we're gonna have to stagger how we put our burn spells out. And they've just got the 2 factories, so this is kind of a slow clock. I think we might have the time to convert all of our cards. Now, counter spells are gonna be a nightmare, but that's just the world we're gonna have to live in, I think. All right, tap Coastal Tower, sure. End step, on tap draw, another burn spell, sweet. Activate Conclave. Combat, attack with a 2/1. And then now I'm gonna have to do some thinking. They're at 10, I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of burn damage in my hand. But deploying it all is gonna be a nightmare, and Prophetic Bolt needs to connect, and that's a core haven, so I think we have to start now. So they're gonna activate a Mishra's Factory, sure. They're gonna activate another one. Okay, this is where it gets interesting, because we have to think about, are we gonna use any of our burn magic on their Mishra's Factories? Or are we going face? You know, that gets really interesting. How many times can I take this? 4. I'm on a 3-turn clock starting right now, and I have to pop their standstill. I think that that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna take the 4. This is gonna come down to how much counter magic does our opponent have. And the answer is gonna be yes, because they're about to crack that standstill. This counter rebels deck is really cool. I'm kind of into what my opponent's doing. We're gonna go fire, face, crack your standstill. Take it, amazing. Okay, my turn. Red source would be ideal. It's a blue source, not quite as ideal as I wanted. We can attack with Faerie Conclave here, but they will simply core haven it. So what we wanna do is we might want to try to Prophetic Bolt our opponent, meaning maybe we're supposed to put a Grim Lavamancer into play. Yeah, I think we're supposed to try a Grim Lavamancer. Grim and go. Swords is okay. I'll go to 8. Continue. There's a Wasteland. That's not great. Wasteland, very good against our deck. Unfortunately, Izzet mana is not very good. So we will float a red here. This might be lights out for us. Our opponent's game plan hummed along very nicely. All right, we're gonna try to Prof Bolt you. I think we just have to. The chance they don't have, didn't have mana leak, wow. Factor Fiction, Slice and Dice. What do we want to take here? Do we take like Mishra's Factory and try to pop off a block next turn? That seems like it could be pretty good. If there was a red source in here, I would be overjoyed. I think we're taking the Factory. I think red source might put us on a kill. If they didn't have that core haven, we'd be on a kill with the Faerie Conclave plus the Bolt. Yeah, you've got a mom. Factory is active. They're just attacking for 3 here with the Factory, which is the same number of turns. So I think this is a good sequence from opponent. Leave as much mana untapped as possible. They can pump or not pump, and it's going to be roughly the same. They do not pump. Okay. Well, I am on instant speed. They fetch their 3. Okay, now they're in bolt range. That's a little bit spooky for our opponent. Do we get in? Brutal. Okay, but I mean, now we're just trying to find a red source, and they've just got a Mother of Runes. So draw mountain, win game. Close. We'll play Factory. Island, sure. Get busy? I don't think you can. If I draw a land, I can just attack with this Factory. Do you have Chain of Vapor? Chain of Vapor is non-land permanent. Draw. Oh, chat. We're never gonna find the land, are we? We set ourselves up to be in a great spot, and I think we're just never gonna find it. Yep. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Even a blue source would be fine so we can convert ice. All right, blue source. Let's see if they can stop. Well, I guess this Factory doesn't kill here, does it? I think that has to be okay. This is a land. Attack. Take 2. Chat, opponents at 1. Go. Everything's lethal now. They might like not be able to attack with their mom. They don't attack with mom. All right, on tap draw. Okay. I think we're gonna pass and ice our opponent's Mother of Runes in their turn. All right. Opponent, I think you had a better chance of winning had you not Armageddon. Ice. Mom. They can give mom pro blue so I can't draw the card, but they're dead to the Factory. All right, we got there. That was a sketchy game, but the counter burn game plan came through. Do we need to like play Red Blast? Seems weird. I wonder if we should be playing Teferi's Response. Like bring in 1 Teferi's Response. Powder Keg probably actually, no, Powder Keg hits 0. That's actually huge. Take out like Slice and Dice is maybe pretty bad. And then like, do we want Red Blast specifically just to hit like standstills on the stack? I don't think so. We're just going to submit like this. All right, this hand has the Powder Keg, Counterspell, AK, 4 lands. Yeah, let's go. We're keeping. All right, they're passing. They've got no 1-drop, which is awesome. We draw Faerie Conclave, which I think is generically better than Ghitu Encampment on turn 1. We'll just play the Conclave and pass. Ghitu Encampment having first strike is kind of sweet. It's because if they've only got 1 factory, it blocks it pretty well. But the second they have a second factory, it's like not that good. All right, they just play a land and pass. They don't have a standstill, huh? Let's get Counterspell online. Here's your Shivan Reef. If they don't do anything, we'll simply cycle our first AK and start to feel really nice. Wasteland. Yeah, you can take out whichever one you want. Looks like they're just passing. Weird. Okay, AK. Feels like you're just supposed to crack that Wasteland. Okay, crack it now, I guess. That's so weird. If they would have done it in their main phase, they could have forced me to tap down and be afraid of like a 2-drop because my permission's just not there. We don't need red magic right now, so we'll just play an island. 1-2, Latnam's Legacy, sure. That's so cool. That's a cool card in their deck. All right, you're gonna go up to 7 planes, sure. 1-2, Morph. What's the chance this is a zombie cutthroat? That would be hilarious. I think we just gotta let this go. You can have a Morph creature, and then we'll go to my turn. I just have this Repulse, so I'm like not supposed to worry about it too much. Here is we're gonna protect our red sources, I think. I could just fire down the Morph creature. I don't think I give a shit. We'll play Shivan Reef and pass. What I really like them to do is flip. If it's an Exalted Angel, I want them to flip it up thinking, this is a special action. Your burn magic does not get in the way of this. And then I just go, haha. All right, they're attacking for 2. If they don't do anything, I might just fire it. It could be a Whip Quarter. Fire still kills Whip Quarter. I believe Whip Quarter is a 2/2. In fact, I'm pretty sure it has to be Whip Quarter. Can they actually play? Yeah, you've got a Sergeant. Go to end step. Well, in that case, let's go red, blue, and let's go fire. 1 here, 1 here. I would just like to contain your game plan, please. Prophetic Bolt's great. What's the over-under on needing to... No, I want to cast Prophetic Bolt on curve. We'll probably just try to leverage Repulse here. So we'll put our Ghitu Encampment into play tapped and pass. They go to combat, they attack for 2. I'm going to let it go. That's fine. Drop to 15. I'm going to go shields down at their end step, I think. 1, 2, 3. Lin Civi. Do I want to counter Lin Civi? That's interesting. I don't think so. I want to hold my Counterspell for specifically the actual problem card, which winds up being Armageddon, I think. So what we'll do is we'll allow Lin Civi to resolve. I'm going to Repulse it. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that this face down card is a Whip Quarter. My opponent should have flipped it because they know none of my burn spells can actually kill an Exalted Angel. Land, end step. All right, Repulse, Lin Civi, 1, 2, 3. All right, we draw another red source. That's great. Untap, draw. Fire Ace is awesome. Play a Mishra's Factory. Do we Powder Keg? No, we're just going to try to Prophetic Bolt. That's our whole plan now. We're going to try to go face, but if they do something stupid like activate Faerie Conclave, we're not going to pass up an opportunity to ping it off. Although that would be crazy into the face of my Faerie Conclave. That would be a really weird play. If they tap 4 and flip up an Exalted Angel, I'm going to have a panic attack though. 1, 2, 3. Lin Civi. Masticore. Well, I don't want to deal with that right now. Blue. Counterspell Masticore. I don't think so, dude. All right, now it feels like I'm priced into firing their Morph. Although I could just activate Mishra's Factory as well. All right, you go into combat. I think we will just fire it. Even if they don't attack, we'll fire it end step. Go to end step. Let's go ahead and see what's going on face down there for you. Oop, not ice. Not ice. Fire. 2. If it's an angel, you can't flip it up. Does it have 3 toughness? Am I getting blown out? Yeah, it was just a Whip Quarter. That's what I thought. All right, we'll untap and draw. Lightning Bolt's fine here. We'll play Mountain. We're just going to keep holding up this Prophetic Bolt, praying that our opponent just doesn't like Armageddon. But if they do, it's like they also just lose all of their lands. I don't know how good that can be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are we doing here? Oh, we are Armageddoning. Okay. We're going to go red, blue, colorless, red, blue, colorless, and allow the Armageddon to resolve. I don't love decks that Armageddon and that plan to do it with no pressure in play. Now we've both got mana floating. There's a Flooded Strand and a Standstill. Okay, what we'll do is we'll Prophetic Bolt your face. Blue, colorless, try to find a land. There's a Faerie Conclave. We're kind of priced into taking it. Any order. And then your Standstill is fine, I guess. And we've got a man land, so we just want to start drawing. They've only got 1 in hand, so I'm not going to crack their Standstill. We're just going to go to we're going to try to draw 2 lands and just utilize a Faerie Conclave. There's the Conclave. Go. They draw a Wasteland? Man, that sucks. You should just crack your Wasteland, dude. Don't dirtle. Yep, it's gone. All right, who draws a man land first becomes the name of the game. We're going to pass back and forth for, I think, a long time. You found a Flooded Strand, but normal lands don't do anything in this spot. All right, Shivan Reef, go. Nothing? I'll take a draw. Mishra's Factory, go. I found a manland. Did you find a wasteland, opponent? No? Cool. Cool. I'm gonna start attacking you with this Mishra's Factory. Activate. Combat. Attack. Go ahead. Did you draw a factory, opponent? Every turn I get to do this, I feel really good because we're just drawing burn spells. Fetch, yep, that's a point of damage too, which we'll take every single time. I would love it if my opponent had to crack their standstill. There we go, they're cracking their own standstill. I draw a bunch of cards, I've got a red source, I've got an island. Oh my god. Opponent, look at the position you've put yourself in. If you play another 1-drop, okay, they have no respect for Fire Ice either. Opponent, I thought you were playing really well, and then at the end of the game here, you just kind of started shitting the bed. All right, mountain, red, colorless, fire, cast, hit, done. Of course I have this. We've been playing draw go for like 25 turns. All right, tap for a red. I'm just gonna use all my mana so I don't have to discard too much. Bolt you, go to 7. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got lethal in my hand. I'm simply going to pitch Powder Keg. Every time my opponents cast Armageddon, they went from having a fine position to being dead because their deck just like can't utilize Armageddon the way I think they think it can. In some matchups, it's totally fine, but I don't think this is the one. Tap for red, colorless. Are you a 1/1? You sure are. Fire. 1/1. Done. Good night. Good night, opponent. Activate this Mishra's Factory. Get busy. You're at 4. This Prophetic Bolt will kill you on its own. I have lethal 6 ways in my hand. GG, what a grind. Agreed. All right, tight. We got one. We got a game. Let's go back in and play more. This deck's really grindy, but I'm still gonna try to get 3 games within a reasonable amount of time for the league. We found an opponent. We're on the play, which is pretty cool. So I'll take it. This hand is 2 AKs, lands, and a burn spell. Keep. Here's my Faerie Conclave, and you may go. Please think I'm tide control. I'm not, but I want you to think I am. A white source and a tide. We're playing tribe? Love that. I mean, not for me. I don't think the matchup can possibly be that good, but it just sounds fun. We draw a Grim Lavamancer. Do we expose this thing straight up right now, or do we be mana efficient? I think we want to be mana efficient. We probably like AK, then play Grim Lavamancer holding up AK. The only cards in our graveyard being AKs is going to be a Nambo with Lavamancer, but the game should go a decent amount of time. They attack for 1. We have no effects. They didn't play a red source, so we're not getting about faced, which is great. AK, blue, red. Draw a factory, pretty cool. Untap, draw. We'll play the factory as a blocker. We'll tap for a red and we'll play a Grim Lavamancer. And you may go, opponent. City of Brass, love to see that. Please take damage to do things. This could be an about face. That would be bad. Did we die to about face here? Easily. So what I'm gonna do I just actually block with factory and like let them swords it or something? No, I just think this Grim Lavamancer is not doing very much. We'll simply block. We'll make you discard a card. Maybe it's an arrogant worm and that kind of sucks. It's a Roar of the Worm. It's not as bad. I mean, a 6/6 is problematic, but like in the current moment, it's not that bad. You go to unstep. I'm gonna AK. Counter magic, please. The logic, great, amazing. That's perfect. Nope, I can't pay it. Can I go? Me. Or we'll untap and draw. That's an exclude. Exclude annoyingly doesn't actually counter Roar of the Worm, but that's just where we're at. So I'm gonna play a tapped Faerie Conclave and pass the turn. We're hoping to draw our other one, our repeal, or whatever the name of it is. I should probably just like learn the name of that stupid card. It is Repulse. They're gonna quiet spec, that's fine. 2 Deep Annals and a Roar of the Worm. That is spooky. That's really bad for us, guys. Go to combat. You can attack. I'm simply not gonna block because about face doesn't even come close to dealing enough damage. Fetch with Windswept Heath, sure. Add a blue, take a damage, yep. Add a blue, deep analysis, yeah, you go to 15. I think here we're actually gonna rage our opponent. I know it seems a little bit weird, but we're not gonna win this game playing normally. So we're gonna cast and rage you. I wanna bottleneck as many resources as I can and hope to like get some lucky top decks, like an AK here would be pretty good. But it's a Faerie Conclave. What we need to do, we don't need to hold Exclude up right now. It'll be pretty difficult for them to kill us. Let me see, they're gonna go up to 5 cards in hand. No, they could kill us if they have about face. I don't think we any longer have the ability to start keep playing around about face. So what I think we need to do is play, let me see, 1, 2, this. It needs to be an on-tap source. We'll play an island. We will activate Faerie Conclave like this. Yeah, like that. We're also gonna activate Mishra's Factory and just try and get them to discard a card to their Tireless Tribe. Attack with everything. Try to bring you to 8. Yeah, you block, that's fine. What are we discarding? City of Brass, sure. All right, take 2. Because they're gonna start worming us, which is gonna be real bad. We need to draw a Repulse real bad right now, because this first worm's gonna be a nightmare. You've got a worm. Do we get busy for 1? About face is not lethal here, but it might get close enough. All right, pass to me, pass to me. That worm not having trample is something we also need to leverage. All right, but we have to take all the damage from this next attack. We have to position ourselves to be able to win if the opportunity presents itself. So we'll tap for 2 to activate Faerie Conclave. We'll tap for 2 to activate Faerie Conclave, and then we'll go to combat, and we'll attack with our Faerie Conclaves and bring our opponent to 6. They're gonna add a white. You got a swords? They've got a swords, that's tough. They see what we're doing. You go to 7, okay. We're still kind of in it if the top of our deck is good enough. We draw like AK into Repulse or something, we're feeling pretty okay. But this is meaningful amounts of damage. And they're attacking with both because I think they do intend to flashback another worm token. You've got another worm token. So Mishra's Factory can go on blocking duty. Untap draw, Counterspell. So what we'll do is we will, do I need to hold up Counterspell here? Is that where we're at? Let's see, I attack for 2 with Faerie Conclave in the air, bringing them to 5. I have to block a worm token with Mishra's Factory. So that's red, blue, activate the Conclave attack, and then blue, activate Mishra's Factory. I can't hold up Counterspell no matter what I do. But if I can pop the block off with Mishra's Factory, say I play a Faerie Conclave, I'll be down to Mishra's Factory and I'll have 2 Conclaves, and then I can play Shivan Reef, and that's only an attack for 4 in the air, which is after this attack for 2, that's gonna leave them at 1 life. How can I play this game so it's like I have some weird resource leverage that I wouldn't otherwise? Plan to draw Repeal or Repulse. Plan to, I'm not really sure. You know, we're just gonna have to do it this way. Activate Faerie Conclave, and we'll tap for a red and a blue. If they have swords here, I think we can move along. Because if I counterspell swords, I'm dead. So I can't like play the Shivan Reef and plan to counterspell it. That's silly. And then we'll play for, yeah, we just have to plan to block a worm token and see what the top of our deck delivers us. Here's another Conclave, go. Because if the top of our deck delivers us, let's say a Bolt, we're all of a sudden in the money. Activate here, like this. Disenchant. Okay, Disenchant beats the shit out of swords. Our opponent got lucky. They found their singleton Disenchant in their main board. If you're playing Tribe and you're playing more than one Disenchant in the main, you probably have a deck building error on your hands. We're gonna go, and that's a probably. There's a lot of different builds of Tribe, but it's usually a little funky to do that. I think Powder Keg and Furnace are really good. I think Slice and Dice is medium at best. Like, it can wipe out Arrogant Worms. What else can it do? Not really much else. Pyroclasm's bad. Red Elemental Blast is interesting because it can counter Quiet Spec. Hibernation's pretty good. Hibernation's amazing. Hibernation's pretty good. Teferi's response is meh. Blue Blast is pretty bad. Annul is not that great. So these are the, maybe just 1 blast, maybe these 4. I think that Grim Lavamancer sucks in this matchup. Their creatures just like don't die to it. I think that is Repulse or is Exclude not great? I think so. And then maybe like a Prohibit. Yeah, we're gonna try this. Submit. All right, we'll be on the play. This hand looks like a couple coming to play tap lands. We've got Repulse. We've got our first AK Fire Ice. I think we're priced into keeping this because Powder Keg is actually like probably really good in the matchup. I think we're leading on blue source. Go ahead. We need to draw lands. Things need to happen, obviously, but I think this is a good split of things to have in an opener. Phyrexian Furnace, sure. I don't know how good it is to bring Phyrexian Furnace in against this. Hibernation's a great top deck. Here's a Ghitu Encampment into a pass. It's gonna like choke us up on AK, but I can't think of a single other thing it does. Maybe they're like, oh, it also hits Grim, but there's no way I'm leaving Grim in this matchup. Tap for a blue. Yep. You quiet spec an opponent? You got it. Quiet spec happens. Deep Roar. Hello, Powder Keg. And Hibernation. Untap, draw land. Boo. Do we just have to AK to try to find it? Seems that way, right? Falling behind on land sounds like a really bad idea. Yeah, we'll let them furnace us. AK. That's a bummer. We have not found our land. I wonder if this deck, it's probably not because we have so many cantrips, but there's a chance that we're on 23 lands. There's a chance we're supposed to play 24. That's something else I need to figure out the numbers on. Tap for, yep, them dealing damage to themselves is fine with us. If they play Meddling Mage, that's going to be silly. You have no clue what to name. Psychotog, however, pretty decent. Pretty good. We do have Repulse, but we'd have to draw the land for it to function. We did. We drew the land. We'll play the island. We will. Do we just simply repulse this Tog right now? No, they can't kill us here. We'll give them the opportunity to like counter it or whatever. I think. You go. Gemstone Mine. Sure. Tap for 2. Deep Analysis. Do we repulse the Tog now? Make them discard from a smaller pool of cards? I think so. So yeah, repulse Tog. That way if they want to circular logic, I just want them to have less cards, less chances to have circular logic, and they don't have it. So we get it. We get the Psychotog out of play and they don't have a mana. They get our repulse, we don't care. All right, pass. We just want to draw land, but even if we don't, we can like exclude the Tog, which is pretty cool. Untap, draw land. Untap, draw land. Please. Oh, no, our opponent just got prioritized. Did MTGO just freeze? Mishra's Factory, amazing. All right, play a land, pass the turn. Because now we got Factor Fiction up. We've got the ability to exclude Psychotog. Factor Fiction hopefully finds us land number 5, and we're kind of cooking. Then we're getting into our mid game where every turn we try to point some damage at face, draw some cards, interact with some things. 1. Yeah, tapping your Gemstone Mine seems silly, opponent, but you're doing it. Okay. Let's exclude. You got a counterspell, so be it. Okay, that worked. I have a Morphling. Oh man, that's a really interesting way to try to win this game if we find our land drops. Furnace, yeah. Our opponent, I think, thinks their Furnace is doing more than it's doing. We don't really use our graveyard at all outside of AK, and even AKs at least replace themselves. There's just little cantrips. Lightning Bolt, cool. So they're at 14. We've got some points of burn damage in our hand. We're going to continue to hold at Factor Fiction. If they have like another Tog or something, that's a little spooky. But if they start to flashback worms, we're like super, oh, we should have cast a spell. We've got too many cards in our hand. That's tough. That's tough. It's just Fire Ice, I think. No, that's a cantrip here as well. Is it just Prof Bolt? No, that's how we're going to try to close. Yeah, it's unfortunately Fire Ice. That makes me sad. I didn't realize we drew up to our, to 8. I was like, yeah, my hand looks really good. Of course it does. You have 8 cards, Adrian. 1, 2 for a Wild Mongrel. That's fine. Pass. I'm going to Factor Fiction. I didn't Factor Fiction in response to the Mongrel because I wanted to present my mana up. They can Circular Logic with or without the Mongrel. So we're just going to try to make a trade here. Factor Fic. I will take a pile of 2 lands would be fine. Ooh, Red Blast. Cool. Repulse Conclave. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the bigger pile if you're giving me a land in both. That's, yeah, you have to pair the lands up. I will take lands pile, I think. Yeah, lands pile. Give me those. Yeah, you've gotten the bottom card. My turn. On tap, draw Phyrexian Furnace of my very own. Island, tap it, Phyrexian Furnace, activate it now. Your graveyard, on the other hand, is a very important resource for you. I kind of don't want to hit their War of the Worm. I kind of want to price them into having to just flash it back next turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present something. I think it's going to be Powder Keg. I think I'm going to go Factory, Red Source, Powder Keg. See what they think about that. I'm just going to leave it on 0 for the foreseeable future, and that gives me 7 in hand. I can just pass now. This red-blue deck, I mean, it should be obvious for Counterburn or a control deck, but we are interested in playing a hilariously long game. So the longer this game goes, the happier I am. Yeah, you get busy with that Mongrel. I'm not going to interact with it at all. Okay. Now, if they don't flash back their War of the Worm right now, I'm just going to hit it with Furnace. And if I hit it with Furnace, then I'm just going to start taking my Powder Keg up to 2. So I wonder what their play is here. Disenchant my dude. This, I think, is worth an interaction point. Because now I'd like them to flash back their War of the Worm. Just to make me pop it. White, green, yep, take a damage. Yep, you've got a War of the Worm. Now they're tapped out, so I'm actually not gonna pop my keg. I'm gonna take it out. End step, on tap. Powder Keg does the thing. I am gonna take it up. I draw a Mishra's Factory. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go blue, blue, blue. Am I attacking for 2 here? I think I am. Blue, blue, blue. I'm gonna Hibernation. Hi, cool deck. Looks like it's not expensive in paper. It's not expensive in paper. I've played this deck in paper a few times. It's great. Now, one thing our opponent can do is pitch a card to the Wild Mongrel to change its color, but we are currently taking up Powder Keg, so it's fine. We've already dealt with both War of the Worms. You've got a red Wild Mongrel. You've pitched a City of Brass. I just kind of don't care. Then I'm going to, do I want to just hold up Lightning Bolt? Kind of seems like it's not the worst thing ever. Let's go ahead and activate this now. Just get a card out of your graveyard. And then do I want to play an on-tap mana source? How do I die here? I just don't think I do. We're going to play Mishra's Factory and use it to activate. Oh, no. Oh, wait. You left click. This land, when did this come in? I think this is the old one. I think you can look at the turn that it came into play somehow. What's his name? Crucible of Worlds told me there's a way to know when the card came into play. Newly controlled. Bingo. All right. Activate using this. All right. Go to combat. I'm attacking. Beat 2. Go to 11. All right. 8, 9. I've got 11 points of burn damage in my hand. Let's go. I might just unload this bolt on their face end step. Combat. I've got nothing for you. I take 2. Absolutely. You've got an Arrogant Worm. That's something that's worth Prophetic Bolting if I need to. All right. You've got a worm. What if no, I'm not going to waste the bolts on this. I just get to Powder Keg it next turn. If I bolt now, I could make them discard 2 more cards, and that seems pretty good. But I don't think so. I think, well, I've got so many manlands too. Maybe that's fine. Force them into like having to discard at an awkward time. But then I'm not getting use out of my Powder Keg. No, yeah, we'll take 3. Furnace me? Sure, dude. End step, we are going to red Lightning Bolt face. I'm just going to try to use all my mana. If they have logic, we don't really care that much. We're happy to make the trade. On tap, Powder Keg's going to do its thing. I'm going to take it up. All right, we find an Urza's Rage. Let's play Faerie Conclave. Let's pop this right now. All right, you no longer have a Wild Mongrel. I have 8 points of burn damage, which is so many, obviously. I think we just need to start end step burning our opponent. So we're just going to pass. Blue, green, another Wild Mongrel. Well, I want to tap you down low here. So let's go red, blue, colorless, blue, Prophetic Bolt, you. That way if they got a logic, they got to tap 3 for it. And then I kind of have free reign next turn. All right, it just connects. I'm going to take Fire Ice and win the game. It's over now. We're done. We get to go to game 3. Although not really. I don't have enough red sources to deploy everything. So like I might need to actually connect with Urza's Rage, or not Urza's Rage, but with a Faerie Conclave. They concede. They conceded. We're going to game 3. Amazing. God, I love this slow game that this deck gets to play. Are we doing anything? Are we bringing it? Nope, I don't think we're doing anything different. This is fine. Submit. I love that our opponent brought in Phyrexian Furnace against us. The card does stone cold nothing. All right, game 3, and our opener has no blue sources. Our bad mana base is showing. We have to mulligan to 6. This hand has good mana, accumulated knowledge, 6 points of burn damage, exclude. I think we're priced into keeping this. Do we have to pitch our Factor Fiction? Is that just like way too far away? It is. I'm gonna pitch that. And let's go. All right, City of Brass tap. We have a Tireless Tribe. All right, I must hold red up so I don't get about face comboed. So I might just lead on Shivan Reef. Yeah, we have to just kind of lead on Shivan Reef and pass. Because if their opponent like just goes for it, now they can't go for it because they've got a red up. But they can attack, pitch like their whole hand, then about face to switch power and toughness. But then it'll have 1 toughness and I can just bolt it and it's dead. All right, Tireless Tribe attacks, that's fine with me. Pass to me, on tap draw. Another Conclave, sure. We're gonna try to convert it accumulated knowledge, so we'll just pass. I kind of want to find a Repulse. I have a feeling an Arrogant Worm / Roar of the Worm is in my near future, which is spooky. All right, end step. We're going to tap for 2 and accumulated knowledge. We find another Urza's Rage. We find a Fire Ice. Faerie Conclave, pass to you. Now, we're not going to be able to use this all as raw damage, but if we were to raw damage our opponent, we have 11. And they have a City of Brass in place, so that's kind of nice. They didn't worm us either. That's also kind of nice. Go to combat, attack for 1. I have no responses for you. Going to end step, I think we bolt our opponent here. Yeah, I want to start using some mana. Lightning Bolt face, and then untap and draw. Morphling, hi, how are you? Faerie Conclave, pass the turn. If they try to worm us, now we have Exclude, which is really nice. They fetch with Windswept Heath, sure. Fetch with Flooded Strand, sure. I'm not a Stifle deck, dude, you're safe. All right, go. Main, tap for 1/2, cast Quiet Spec. That is okay. Yep, there's the stockpile, deep analysis, roar. Go to combat attack for Uno. That's good. I think we're just raging here. Boop, boop, red, rage, cast, face. My turn, I'll untap and take a draw step. It's another AK. I think what we're gonna do here is set a stop in their upkeep. I do wanna ice their City of Brass in their upkeep, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, we're in your upkeep. We're gonna tap for blue, we're gonna cast ice. We're gonna target City of Brass. I'd like you to go to 10. That's gonna deal damage to them. Now I can also ice their Tireless Tribe to play around about face combo. Do we need to do that? No, we've got Fire Ice. If they have about face combo, we can try to fix it. So happy to finally get your stream. Thanks for the awesome videos. You've been a big help as I've been getting into this amazing format. Greetings from Germany. What's going on, buddy? Super stoked you're enjoying the content. Glad to help. So I think we're not gonna tap down the Tireless Tribe. If they have Circular Logic, we can die anyway. But like if their goal is to about face us, we at least have the out of Fire Ice. We can fire the Tireless Tribe. And if we get about faced here, we get about faced here. It's just like, is what it is. Tap for 2. Are we deep analyzing? Are we deeply analyzing going to 7? And if our opponent doesn't do anything meaningful, we're 100% to just AK. Okay, you've got 8 in hand. About face combo is online if you play the card. That's non-discovered paradise. So about face plus Circular Logic kills us, kills the dog. All right, no blocks. All right, we're pitching Engineered Plague. They're going for the about face combo. We have to see if they have it. Okay, yep, ditch another card. You have Circular Logic or you don't. If they have Circular Logic, they win. If they don't, we win. Yep. Here we go. Yep, that works. Fire, here, done. Red, blue. Show me Circular Logic and you win. Okay, that's awesome. Our opponent got us. I'm really glad the about face combo just happened right in front of us. We could have played around it, but I wasn't sure if our opponent had it, and I just kind of wanted to like stop them from worming us for a turn. So if we just simply have Urza's Rage, we win. But our opponent just 21'd us with about face, which is sick. This was Counter Rebels was a huge deck back in the day. The deck is good enough in Premodern. Cheers. I think it's probably solid. But we're gonna take our 21 here, take our lumps. They win the match. We got 2-1. We're 2-2 right now. No, we're 1-1 right now, but these games went kind of long, so I think that's going to be it for this video, you guys. I plan to do a lot more of the Counterburn deck. It's a deck I want to actually tune up and maybe play at the final event for our championship series this summer. But for now, that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.